Hey everyone, and welcome to Game Gear TV. I'm Doug. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the still relatively new SteelSeries Arctis 7X wireless headset for Xbox, PC, Android, PlayStation, and so on, but it's primarily marketed as a Xbox headset. Now, if you've seen my SteelSeries Arctis 9X review, you know that I'm kind of a fan of that headset, and this is pretty much everything that I wanted from SteelSeries. In that review, I mentioned that I'm not a huge fan of Bluetooth personally for my headsets, and pretty much what I wanted was an Xbox compatible Arctis 7. And that's pretty much what SteelSeries delivered. Aesthetically, this is almost identical to the Arctis 9X, but the button configuration, which I'll go over, is in line with an Arctis 7 as opposed to the 9X, which has some things flipped around. But we got the green and black headband strap and just matte black everywhere else. It's a good looking headset. So if you're familiar with Arctis headsets, really not much else to say on the design. It follows the same design philosophy as all of the other ones. But if you've never had an Arctis headset before, we have high quality plastic materials in most of the body with a metal reinforced headband. And for the size adjustments and general comfort, you have this ski strap system, which is adjustable with this Velcro strap, and you can adjust it, not a ton, but it does have some range. And then the strap gives a nice suspension on the top of your head. And I have worn Arctis headsets for, probably 10, 12 hours at a time before, and I never get any fatigue on the top of my head with this system. So it's a very comfortable headset system. In addition to the high quality materials, our ear cups can lay flat. So if you want to lay them flat on your desk or wear them around your neck without them being all up on your chin, you can do that. The microphone is the same as on all Arctis headsets, and it's a good microphone. It pulls out from the left ear cup and is adjustable where you want it to be, and it has this nice little red light indicator to let you know when the headset is muted. The default ear cushions that come on this headset are SteelSeries' Airweave cushions, which I've always liked. I think they're plenty comfortable. SteelSeries also has leather ear cushions that they sell. I think they used to have like a velour material, but they don't have that anymore as far as I know. And there are also third-party options that support ear cushions on this headset. So you have a lot of options there. So let's just go over the controls on the back of the headset real quick, just to kind of make sure everyone understands how this headset works. So on the right ear cup, we have a game chat balance dial. It has a nice little stop in the middle to let you know when you're halfway there. On the bottom of the right ear cup, we have our power button. It also has this light flashing to let you know your battery status. My battery is apparently getting kind of low because it's flashing red right now. Jumping over to the left side, we have the mute button, which is kind of hard to find when you're wearing this sometimes. So if you're trying to mute yourself really quick, sometimes I find myself fumbling around. We have our master volume control. We have SteelSeries' proprietary port here for hooking up to like a game DAC if you wanted to, or a chat dial. A 3.5mm port to hook up to any device with a 3.5mm jack. And sadly enough, a micro USB charging port. Now, I'm going to beat this horse until every manufacturer gets on board. It's 2021. It's time for USB-C. That includes you, SteelSeries. Now, I'm sure there was some cost-saving things by being able to take existing molds and such for the Arctis 7 and not have to update it to USB-C, but it still would have been a nice touch. Now, also in the package, we have that proprietary cable, the 3.5mm jack, and a micro USB charging cable, which I have apparently misplaced, but if you've seen a micro USB cable, that's what it is. And then the more interesting feature here is the wireless dongle. Now, unlike the Arctis 9X for Xbox, which connected directly to the console via Microsoft's wireless protocol like a controller would, the 7X uses a USB dongle. Now, this USB dongle is a little different both in shape when you look at it. It doesn't look like most USB dongles that I've seen, they're usually more of like a stick where the USB connector would be on this side and you stick it in. And the reason is that this is meant to be used with Android phones where you can just plug it into the charging port on your phone and kind of have a streamlined appearance there and use your headset for your mobile gaming or whatever you want. So that's a nice design touch for versatility. Now, USB-C on this, but not on the headset itself. Whatever. Now, obviously, Xbox consoles don't have a USB-C port. And even if your PC has a USB-C port, this shape will likely result in you blocking other ports if you can get this to your USB-C port at all. So the solution there is it includes this cable, which is USB-A to USB-C. And then you just hook this sucker up, plug it into your console or PC, and then you have this very large dongle that you now have to do some cable management with to keep it out of the way. But that's a minor drawback to the versatility that this headset has. So SteelSeries launched two new Arctis 7 headsets. They launched the 7X, marketed for Xbox, and the 7P, marketed for PlayStation, which is in a white and black and blue color scheme, which is kind of nice. But the advantage of the 7X is right here on the back of the dongle. So you see that we have a slider for both Xbox and USB. So when you're using this with your Xbox console, you set to Xbox, you plug it in with the adapter cable, and you're good. No other syncing required. And if you flip it over to USB, you're on standard USB chat protocols, so it works with PC and PlayStation in wireless mode. The 7X is more versatile than the 7P because you can use it with Xbox, you can use it with PC, you can use it with PlayStation, Android phones, you can use it with the Switch. So this is a pretty much a one-stop shop for a wireless headset. All right, now let's jump into audio performance with this headset. Just like the Arctis 9X, it uses the exact same internals. This headset sounds really good. SteelSeries kind of prides themselves in having a neutral, clean sound profile on their headset. It's a very flat sound profile out of the box with good sound separation on the frequencies, and they succeed across the board. And from their cheaper headsets to the $200 Arctis 9X is, I think, the most expensive with these drivers. Same drivers across the board, so it's really cool that they do that in the product line. Now, this headset, like any other headset on Xbox consoles or Windows 10 PCs, is compatible with Windows Sonic and Dolby Atmos for headphones. It doesn't come with any sort of Atmos code, so Sonic is kind of the default surround sound for this headset, and it works pretty well in just about anything that I've tested. It has good positional audio where, generally speaking, I can tell where something is coming from directional wise, and in games that are kind of optimized for 3D surround sound solutions, you can at times, not always, but at times you can get a better sense of verticality, whether something's coming from above going down or someone is running above you, that sort of thing. One general complaint that I have with SteelSeries headsets is on the default EQ settings, out of the box, they're usually very quiet. So out of the box, this comes on their flat EQ profile. And with the volume dial turned all the way up, it's just loud enough for me to enjoy using it. But if you go into SteelSeries Engine, which I'll talk about here in just a second, and you boost pretty much anything or use any of the other pre-built sound profiles, they do get a lot louder. Real quick, let's go over SteelSeries Engine for this headset. As you can see, I'm using a custom EQ profile that I was messing around with, and it comes with 6 other pre-built EQ profiles, and it comes by default on flat. And then you can test out your microphone, adjust overall volume, turn on your side tone, and adjust the volume, auto shut off. And we also have this dynamic range compression setting. Essentially what this does is tries to balance out the overall loudness of different sounds coming in at once, so nothing is overpowering and everything's a little more balanced out across the board. There's 3 different settings that you can play with to try to get that ideal balance for you. Unlike the Arctis 9X, where you can cycle through the different EQ presets on the headset itself, you actually have to plug the Arctis 7X into a PC with SteelSeries Engine using the wireless dongle, go in, change whatever you're going to change, and if you're on Xbox and you have to unplug it all, go back to your Xbox, test it out, and then go back and forth to change it if you want. So that's a bit of a downgrade compared to the 9X. All right, now let's talk about the microphone. This is the exact same microphone that's on any other Arctis headset. And the reason SteelSeries keeps using this microphone is, as far as built-in headset microphones go, it's pretty good. It has good transmission volume and clarity for a gaming headset. My only real complaint with these microphones is sometimes they're a little too sensitive, picking up other background noise, particularly like breathing for me. So if this microphone placement is too far forward or too close in or whatever, it can pick up a lot of breathing noise in game, which if you're using, on a PC with Discord or, whatever other chat service that has a noise gate, not a big deal. You can set it to block that out, or even on like Call of Duty right now, you can set a noise gate in game on Xbox for general Xbox party chat. I have on the occasion had people say, hey, it sounds like you're in a wind tunnel because I'm getting in the game and I'm breathing a little heavier, and it really picks that up. But it's still pretty good at like blocking out other background noise. So if like there's a washing machine in the next room or something, in my experience, these microphones are a little bit better about blocking out those further away noises, but not great at blocking out things in the immediate vicinity. As you probably noticed in that mic test, I actually had to plug it in because the battery died. So that's a good time to talk about battery life. SteelSeries rates the battery life on this headset at 24 hours. And I would say it's actually pretty close to that. Another thing that I'd like to talk about between the 7X and the 9X is a lot of people commented on my 9X review about how the 9X kept disconnecting on them or just had terrible range. They'd walk 10 feet from the couch and it would disconnect. And that's not exclusive to the 9X. That's kind of a problem with a lot of the direct connect headsets. So by using the USB dongle system with the 7X, I haven't had a single connectivity issue. I mean, I just plug it into either my Xbox or my PC, and I've never had it desync or any issues like that. And the range is better and more stable. So if you had issues with the Arctis 9X and disconnects, this headset should alleviate some of those issues. So compared head-to-head to the Arctis 9X, it kind of depends on what you need. SteelSeries is kind of finally rounded out their Xbox-capable lineup. So, you have your base wired units with an Arctis 3. You have the Arctis 1 wireless for $100, which has the same speaker drivers and such in it, but has not as premium of a overall design. Now we have the $150 Arctis 7X and then the $200 Arctis 9X. Now, the biggest differences between this and the 9X is the 9X has the direct connect capability, which may or may not be a pro for you depending on your situation, but with the 7X, it does use a USB port. The 9X has Bluetooth capability, whereas the 7X does not. The 9X has the ability to cycle through EQ profiles on the headset. The 7X does not. And that's really the biggest differences. For me, if I was presented with both of these headsets and I just had to pick one, I would go with the 7X just because I don't really use Bluetooth in my gaming headsets. I just don't. And as far as other headsets that I've reviewed, my second place best wireless headset for Xbox is Lucid Sound's LS35X. And I would also recommend this one over the LS35X just because it's basically the 9X as far as feature set is concerned, but at a much closer price point to the LS35X, which makes this a better deal overall, I think, because it does have more features than the LS35X. Whereas, the LS35X is like $130 most of the time right now, and the 9X is still $200. So it's hard to recommend the 9X over the Lucid Sound, but I do recommend the 7X over the LS35X. All in all, I think SteelSeries has a real winner of a headset with the Arctis 7X. It's extremely versatile as far as platform compatibility is concerned. It has all the normal niceties of an Arctis headset that make them so popular. It has most of the features that are kind of the core competencies that the Arctis 9X had, only at a cheaper price point. I think this one's hard to beat in the price range. At $150, the competition out there may kind of edge it out in one place or another, but as far as a total package is concerned, the 7X is just an amazing headset for the price, and I highly recommend it. Well, there you have it. Again, thanks so much for watching the video. If you liked the video, be sure to hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you get notified when new content is up. And be sure to follow me on Twitter. I'll see you all next time.